Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Hello everybody and welcome to your European Grand Final for the
5 seconds
EPICENTER LAN event held in Moscow later this May. $500,000. The top teams. Pictures were released of the venue earlier today for how awesome it's going to look. That's right, we're going full auditorium kind of style. Almost going to bring back the memories of Benaroya Hall, a man who wasn't in the scene during Benaroya Hall time, but now he definitely is, and he's a great addition to the scene. It is my co-caster and captain of Complexity, Swindles, wishing you all the best of health to get through the best of 5.
It's really cool to get introduced in a different way every time, man. I gotta cast more often. If you don't know, you'll just like have all these nice things you say about me. I can write them all down.
Oh, dude, if you want to, I can give you the Cinderin treatment. Just
What's
a
that?
different creepy line as I just decide to introduce him.
Remaining.
Every time we'd cast back in Warcraft 3, Dota, like that was
5
exactly
seconds
what I
remaining.
did. And like the man that gives the venom to the tentacles of Venomancer. Something like that would be his introduction. Right.
I like what you're doing now, man. Let's keep Syndromes as is.
Radiant
I
think
did
that's more
actually
good
I did actually like say to Cinder beforehand. He's like he hasn't watched any of the VODs from his games. But I gave him a little bit of a, you know, bro, I'm sorry. We might be hitting on you for dying, but I follow every single time. When we give you shit for dying, we follow up every single time with it created space. It was for a reason. There is purpose behind his madness.
Oh man, see, it's funny because I actually like No Diggity. I think part of the reason they've had success, how their team's broken down. A lot of teams don't really have players willing to fill every role, but having like Ira and Qualifier as an example, both very talented core players, but haven't found success for quite some time. And a lot of that is because you can't just be really good at these roles and not have a good supporting cast. So Yapstor is like the playmaking 4 that's pretty common on nearly every top team right now. And then Cinderin, as you said, is just like willing to be the whipping boy for his entire team, and is responsible for mostly the draft awards and the information gathering that only a death in the heart lane can give you. And then of course Keizu, pretty solid off-laner, but specifically he's not a not really as much of a universe style as he is like his own. He's more of the he's kind of alone every single game, you know? And he just gets what he can so that he can help Ira and Cleffa do damage later on in the game.
Well, he described it. Someone actually quoted him in Twitch chat one time, and he's just like, all I do is create space. And that time he said so Cinderin could cast his abilities. That's the reason why Void was being picked for him. But it still applies to the way he normally plays. Like, he creates so much space for the rest of his team.
Phrase that as he has to play Void so that Cinderin can land his abilities.
Okay, maybe a little bit more shit talking than the nicer side of the translation I was going to have. I'm a little surprised though that Cinderin will take out the Void in the first 2, considering that is like Heizu's go-to kind of style hero. Instead they get the Beastmaster OD opener. Especially
because PR has only played it twice over the past couple weeks, but I imagine they just assume the power level is much higher than I give it credit for. We just don't value Void as highly in our team. I like PR's opener. They stick with the Chen. That was working for them. I agree with it. They're going to run the bat as well. OD Beastmaster is also just a solid opener. And they didn't ban Mirana from PR, so we can almost guarantee that there'll be a Mirana picked up by No Diggity. They've played it in an absurd amount of their last few games. After has actually just mostly played Enigma, Mirana, with the occasional Bounty Hunter or Doom's game. But they've played a lot of Mirana.
I think it's something which Cinder may have actually taken from his MTW days, when he was always playing with Sebastian, because in that team they always liked running this Bane and Mirana combo together. There's always some kind of setup to work with the Mirana. Obviously, like, it is so good now with an instant onto a Chen creep, like, kills it off. But it's something that Cinderin is obviously very comfortable to do. And you get an OD fucking imprisonment setup. How can you bypass that?
Yep.
Just like
It's
how
just
you
one of
bypass
those-
Earth Spirit, which I realize is also inside the book.
Neither team seems to really like that hero as much, to be honest. It's weird, but your bench first. I like the bench pick. Oracle banned, so they obviously are thinking anti-bat. They're gonna go with bench, which I actually kind of like against the Chen as well, because all the creeps don't have any armor. So usually you can take them to 0. It's especially effective once they get up to the ancients, and they're actually just unkillable if you can't take their armor to 0. So it's a solid pick, and it also kind of disguises what I can only assume.
10 seconds remaining.
Who was it that was running the aggro trial lane last night? My brain is also warming up.
Oh man, I think that was the Danish Bears. It was either Danish Bears or PR. I know those were the
I
teams
think
in
it
the
was
game.
PR against Dane.
Radiant team pick.
I'm double checking. I'm going back. So in that game, it was drum roll, please. Goddamn, he actually played it. Yeah. So it was actually Power Rangers that ran the aggro trial lane against him, and they ran that with like Big Numbers Chen as well. So it could have also been that other side of Cinderin doesn't want to like give PR that opportunity to actually have a VS for
10
too.
seconds remaining.
If they're feeling a little bit pressured in the early game, because that really was like our lower bracket final in a nutshell. It was who can press you in the early game and who's actually ready to fight.
Reserve time.
The way these drafts are breaking down, it should make for a pretty interesting game. Bat and Doom are such incredible single target disable, and they'll have a Chen backing it up. No Diggity on the other hand. Like, they have a very aura-centered lineup around the OD, and I expect them to, as I said, take Marana, and then maybe something like a Slark as their last pick. But I think the tell of the tape, these two teams, is really just going to be how long the games go on. We saw PR in a lot of their wins. They win very early. Going through their previous games, like 36, 25, 35, 26, 22, 15. Like, these are their timings for their usual wins. And then if you look at the games, they actually lost against No Diggity. They did win one that went on for quite some time, but the other two were hour-long games. So I think that's what No Diggity is looking to do with most of their drafts. They really just play for the late game and utilize just out-farming, just win, secure farm from both their two really greedy cores. Whereas PR, I really just think they need to try and end these games quickly. And obviously, I think they agreed just with the first pick Chen. So
5 seconds.
there's the Marana as expected. I don't think anyone would anything else coming. And No Diggity is really just going to stick with their bread and butter. I expect they probably have something weird prepared, but you never bring that out in game one.
Yeah, you got a full best of 5 to go through. I'm also fairly certain this is a full best of 5. There is no one game advantage. I'm going to quickly double check that as well, as I haven't. But none of the other qualifiers have had a one game advantage.
Wait, this does have a one game, or it does? No, it doesn't. I played this. It doesn't.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we went through the entire US
remember.
full 5 games, right? Didn't we, Swindles? Didn't we, huh?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, let's just focus on the match.
Oh yeah, that's something else, ladies and gentlemen. My co-caster has already qualified for the LAN final, so obviously his accreditation to cast this game is even bigger than it was before.
I just hope I have the stuff to criticize them. You know, if you're not a better player than somebody, you can't tell them they made a mistake. If only Twitch chat followed their own rules, it'd be a much more peaceful environment. Dude,
we may be here for another 8 hours. Like, don't get Twitch chat riled up already. They will fight you.
That's the worst thing to happen, man.
You get robbed?
Memes going? Man,
Dude, Twitch
shaking
chat.
in my boots.
Imagine actually being like in the middle of a huge ass stadium, and you basically go around and just say, "Hey everyone, you're all dicks," and just flip them off. At that point, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to jump the railings and just come straight at you until they kill you. Like,
5 seconds.
that's what's happening. You're enticing of violence when you go against Twitch chat, because Twitch chat, they are the crowd. In Dota 2, they're in the middle of the stadium right now. Except
instead of being armed with like smoke grenades and pitchforks, they've just got their fingers and like KAPTA, man.
So words can hurt.
Can we go back to the draft, man?
Yes, we
Why
can.
are you always trying to sidetrack?
Hey, you did this, bro. You did this when you started to lay the shots down. Last picks. So say goodbye to this Ven from No Diggity. may mean we get some kind of
5
like
seconds
illusion-based hero from Diggity, or at least some kind of like they're worried about some kind of AoE clearance. Or is it
Reserve
just because
time.
Power Rangers currently don't actually have an ancient clearing safe laner, thing which is missing from them?
That's part of the reason. I actually think
seconds
that
remaining.
Sven isn't that scary, but the main
Alchemist.
thing is that it's probably a comfort hero. Ooh, Alchemist.
We're going Danish boy style. But hang on, do we? Because they run the Alchemist in the mid.
It'll be mid or safe lane, but I think it'll be safe lane this game.
So,
I feel like it's
safe lane
protected.
Alchemist, so we get the Blink Armlet Alchemist play. This is a lot of negative armor as well. This Doombringer is not going to have a happy day.
No,
10
he is
seconds
not.
remaining.
He's actually gonna just. He kind of has to doom the OD every fight, which is gonna be
5
tough. But
seconds remaining.
going back to the Sven pick or ban, it's just a comfort hero right now, and it gives them ages, as you said. And in
Reserve
addition,
time.
it's just one of those heroes that, if they get ahead with the Chen, could just snowball super hard and one-shot everything. But they have pretty good heroes against that hero as well. It'll be interesting to see what PR does. I really think they need something like Slark here. I think that's their only real play. But knowing that it's them, maybe they'll go like Lone Druid or something. Not banned here. Oh wait, wow.
It was
never mind.
first banned.
First, okay.
It was first banned,
That
but you
was
can at
right.
least be right about the Slark pickup.
That's the pick though. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's the pick. It's really good against OD. We saw Secret run it a lot against Major. It's good against Alchemist, Marana. It's actually good against Beastmaster too, because you know if you're being scouted by a Hawk. So on one hand, it will disable your passive, but you're also really good against him in lane. And obviously, you can, instead of like getting imprisoned and maybe dying, like you just do out of the roar. Same with the arrow, same with the roar, etc. So I like to pick a lot. It's really just going to come down to how well does this did and what does PR take towers and objectives or not. So pretty much the exact game plan we thought we would see, where PR is going
10
to try and apply
seconds
pressure
remaining.
early, end the game fast, and no Diggity's just trying to turtle it out to the late game.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm a little worried the Power Rangers will not actually have the strength to take those early towers. Because the more I look at it, like, they can't keep the Chen army up. The Rubik really is more of a
Prepare for
controller than he is a pusher. In fact, he's more of a counter pusher than he is a pusher. And Cheshire Cat, maybe when you can get his control, like if you can get a Doom off on the OD, you could make it so Diggity doesn't want to fight you. A Rise with a pickoff could make that happen, but without those pickoffs, without those controls and the cores, I don't really see Diggity being dissuaded from just pushing down the lane.
No, their team fight's really strong. And again, kind of just goes back to damage output. If you look at PR's heroes, none of them really pretty high damage output. Obviously, Slark will get there, Bat could get there, but they need a lot of levels and core items, which is once again why this game is going to mostly be on Bignum. His rotations, how far does he get? What's his
30
next timing
seconds
like?
to battle.
Because PR, if they can get to a position where they're ahead of Diggity, there's really nothing Diggity's lineup can do to stop them. But in the event they allow, like, I don't know what the Alchemist items are going to be. He's going to safe lane. So when we watch Miracle play it, it's always just like treads Solar Crest into like S and Y with a blink occasionally. But I don't know how Era will safe lane it. He could also just rush the patented like 7-minute rings.
You're talking for the Alchemist? That's why I have Danish Bear's build just burnt into my brain. It's the early armlet into Blink. I actually have him as the aggressor because that's
Really?
yeah, that's actually the build that the Danish Bears go for. But they run him as a mid, and they get a lot of control on runes. So,
I like that style actually. You do the same for the safe lane though. You just don't have the rune control.
yeah, it does mean you can have enough space created by your supports, and up against a Doombringer that shouldn't be too hard. Like Cheshire Cat doesn't want to go down here. If he gets caught under an acid spray, he's got crap all armor. Then you got Wave of Terror as well. You've got easy setups between like Marana as well as the VS. So getting
He's
kills
just
on
gonna
the
be
Cheshire
juggling.
Cat's a little too easy.
The
So Era should have
battle
all the space in the
begins.
world just to get greedy. And they're not even going to give him the first bounty rune. Like, that almost tells you, like, in fact, the Diggity would just let this game roll on for a long time until Era is just unstoppable.
I'm gonna just say the key lane in this game is the Arise bat against the OD middle. This is a matchup that has to go well for PR if they're gonna win this game. And there's gonna be a Mirana who doesn't really need to help bottom to zone out of Doom. So it's gonna all come down to this lane, I think. At least to determine the tempo control.
Well, I'll keep a close eye on it for now. Also want to keep my eyes on that Beastmaster, as you said, like, Beastmaster shouldn't be able to dominate the slide, but I want to see how many levels KZ was able to get early on, because that's something which he always seems to be able to do. He's really getting up close, getting levels, and not being forced away, and with the double balls behind him, like, what do you even do when you're a Slark and a Rubik? You got double controls if you can grab that initial leash. But the Beastmaster is still quite tanky, and he's got boots, so he'll outrun you.
I agree with KZ's build. You might be tempted to go like a shield and try to fight this lane, but in reality, you just get XP, force the Rubik to, like, just prevent the Rubik from being able to send you out, and then once you get like level 3, you can always go jungle, but this is fine. And he should get a lot out of this lane because it is a Rubik plus, as you mentioned.
Pulls already start happening. Cheshire Cat's full jungle. This is going to be a very passive start to the game, even though like Big Gnomes walk around with a smoke on his Chen. Rotation timing to catch out the Beastmaster will probably be the nicest thing for him, but he'll probably want to have 2 creeps before he attempts such a task. Actually, is this now... Okay, Yabzor is not wanting Chen to have this freedom. We have an Observer Ward, which is perfectly watching Big Gnome at the moment. So if Yabzor wants to be a tool, he can be one. Actually blocking it so we can't stack it. No flash farming for the Chen.
And because you win these boots first, it's like nearly impossible for Chen to do anything about this. So he's gonna actually look at the courier too, perhaps, and he blocks the hard camp.
So defensive with it. Arise even goes back to his own tier 2 tower, so we can pick up that bottle. So he still brings the courier all the way out. Okay, not as defensive as I thought.
And he's gonna bottle crow it back blindly too. If Yapzor was waiting with that mana pot, like near the courier, like I think he should be, that's just a dead courier for sure.
Yapzor's trying to be closer towards the Chen though. Like it's such a hard ask for him. What do you want to do? Like you can perfectly see Big Num. You want to leech his experience just to screw with him. But he's also, yeah, he's gonna take out the Dark Troll Summoner.
It's actually still bad for Chen because he doesn't realize that camp's blocked. He'll try and stack it now, and it just won't work. This is really well done by Yapzor.
Aaron Supreme. And Rise has to be so defensive as well. Yeah, it's got a creep wave. Actually, he's got 5 stacks over on Qualifier, who's just used his imprisonment, but Rise took aggro from the tower. Wasn't really part of his initial plan. The arrow flies forward from Yapzor. And the reason why I thought Arise had to be a little bit more defensive is because he could just have imprisonment into arrow. Very simple combo. Is she cat? Oh, Yapzor. He just cut his way through the tree line. He's still got Leap available, but Syndrome with a Wave of Terror. Dropkick Cat now down to -1 on the armor. The arrow's gonna hit him perfectly because he got choke pointed up in the tree line. So Cheshire Cat attempting a gank here on top of Qualifier. But there was just no way to initiate it. And after he got initiated on.
The problem with Chen Doom is like Chen's already having a hard enough time finding himself. Like where's this Doom really supposed to go? He's up to 8 CS, he's got Tranquils, it's just he really can't venture into this bottom lane, and Ura's actually rushing up Midas, so he's going full greed.
Arrow's on the way. Cheshire Cat's going to try and take it for the team, but Arise gets hit by a perfectly Qualifier. They keep all damage going. Arise will drop. Big Num Chen. Centaur couldn't stomp up nicely, and Cheshire Cat's going to die for a secondary time here. Even with the Fable reducing a little bit of the damage, it's not enough. Diggity now up for 3-0 on the board. I want to point out, while all this is going on, you've still got Era, who has rushed himself a hand of Midas. He is going to have a 4.5 minute Midas on this Alchemist. Gloves from the side shop, and he's good. This is going to be such a fat Alchemist.
This is a dream. And I gotta say, Diggity is like, it's such a dominating position in this game. And a lot of it's just because of the strength of their lanes. So they can't contest the safe lane, which is really what they needed to do. And mid is going very well for Diggity, and they aren't zoning the Beastmaster top, so this is like a dream start. Yapzor already doubled the level of Chen as well, so. And wow, no, he purged the creep. Oh jeez, he won't get the spawn on the hard camp either. This Chen's having a really grim game. Mana Boot's actually on the run already, so he's in a fine position.
This Mirana, I think, has actually done more interference than the bounty hunter we were looking at yesterday.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, it's so much easier to play Mirana in a game like this. Like, you arrow off in prisons and mess with the Chen. All of the day.
Arrow was a little astray. I thought
God,
the raw arcane boots over on the Mirana. You know what it actually reminds me of? It reminds me of the classic Jimmy strat. Where he'd actually run this 5-position Tide Hunter. And he'd basically just have like one clarity and then just gush. Run to a lane and gush. And then pop the clarity and then run to another lane and gush. Like with the arcane boots, all you have to do is just run jungle, arrow, run mid lane, arrow, trigger your arcane boots every 40 or 55 seconds, and then just run another lane.
Yeah, one thing to note, just about PR's draft that seems a little weird is they actually have like 4 heroes that all want to utilize the jungle. Slark obviously can't do it right away, but there's a lot of teams that once he hits like level 7 or 8, has a Midas, he can kind of just go jungle, take a couple stacks, and in this situation you have a Bat, a Doom, and a Chen in addition. And Mirana just running around, and look at this, you know, the jungle is so contested, but they can't stop YapzOr from even just being here. And this is just taking farm out of the Chen's pocket, and Mirana will obviously take creep, so.
They're trying to stop him. They are really trying to stop him. But Qualifier, because they have the Observer up on the hillside, and by that imprisonment too, they should realize this. Because he did it from the low ground.
That's 3 heroes though. Like that's an insane investment just to protect like a hard camp. Bottom lane at least, Doom is going to be able to lane here, but I actually think he made a slight error because Mirana really hasn't been bottom at all, and he's just kind of allowed Ira free space, and Doom is actually quite able to contest that lane.
He was such a dick!
Yeah.
He just broke the smoke. He walked up to them as they were smoking. This guy has been playing the best interference against Power Rangers. Anything they want to try and do, YapzOr always seems to be there, and now he's already moving up on top. Like, you understand this will be where the rotation is. Beastmaster Hawk is looking at them, and they're trying to cut through the green line to see it, and they're actually going to tornado down the Hawk. Get rid of the vision. Keizu, he can actually use that as an indication they should be backing the hell out of here, and that means he'll go down. The sniper doing his work. Qualifier rotates over. He's got his ulti available. Get 1 kill with 1 more orb attack on a J4. That'll find a secondary. And goddamn, well, -4 on the armor. He's got pounds available right now. And YapzOr would love to line up a perfect arrow, but with the Dark Creep Wave next to him, goddamn, we'll see it coming from a mile away. So, not as defensive as I thought they would have been there, Diggity, realizing the rotation.
I think Keizu just like got it in his head he was baiting. That's what he did, but I mean that's sort of his role sometimes in this team, is just like to use his body to allow Qualifier or Ira to come in and clean up, and that's exactly what happened there. A good move by PR, but as you can see, they're really not in a good position in this game at the moment.
That Alchemist is still a big ticking time bomb. Surprisingly though, the Slark is keeping up with him. As that 1 kill actually brought him a lot closer. I say keeping up when you're 1400 net worth behind, but Ted, like when you think this is an Alchemist with 3 points up in greed as well, as opposed to the other build we normally see on the Alchemist, which is more maxing up your toxic as well as your concoction, and then you just leave 1 point up in greed. This time he's actually gone for a lot more in greed and with a hand of Midas too. He's going for Aquila. Maybe this is going to be the Radiance build from Ira.
I think it's bad here, but I don't think it's the build. I think the only way they lose this game is to Slark like later on, and the way that would happen is if Ira itemizes for like this farming split push style alpha instead of just a battle one. If he builds for like armor and abyssal later on with a blink or something like that, Slark can't go toe to toe with him, but if he goes this like Radiance Manta build, he definitely can.
A little bit of indecision from him. Not indecision from YapzOr as well as Keizu. They've got Raw available, and they're just going to start on the Doombringer. Concoction will be the follow-up. Rubik can't help here at all. Ira will have the ensured kill. Nothing J4 can really do about it. But yeah, Ira actually put up O-Club, sold it, and then bought a Belt of Giant Strength instead. So it looks like it'll be the S and Y approach for the Alchemist.
I mean, I just don't know how you stop this. The Diggity lineup, like their damage output's gonna just be nuts later on. They have the Aura from the Beastmaster, Venge, Aura, and W, and then the Mirana Leaf actually giving a ton of attack speed too. Oh, and that, okay, they're not gonna dive the Rubik, but like they're gonna get to a point where their heroes, the OD and the Alk, are just hitting so hard that nothing on CR that'll be able to do anything about it other than this Slark. Like this Slark needs to have a dream game. He dies twice, I think there's no hope for PR. He has a flawless game, I think they might win. Much like in that Ember Spirit game we saw yesterday. I think it's the same sort of situation here.
Well, so far he's off to a good start.
Dire's
The
middle
Hand of
tower
Midas
is
is
under
allowing him
attack.
to keep up very close, and that one kill to his aim and no deaths, he's ticked all the boxes so far that you've given him. I still want to see him, like, being able to find kills across the map. PR is desperately trying again with another smoke gank now, so Big Num, J4 and Cheshire Cat to team up. They do have that Purge creep inside the Doombringer, as well as Doom itself. A couple of options, but they can run straight up the river, not even looping behind.
Dire's
They want to go for
bottom tower
Qualifier,
is
he's got
under
2
attack.
sticky napalm charges on him. He's also got drum charges, 12 one charges, and a possible defensive imprisonment. The Doom is on him, however, Qualifier will go down. A 4 hero movement. They do bring down that OD.
They use a lot of cooldowns there, but they had
Radiant's
to get
top
that kill.
tower is under attack.
The only problem is like now this Alk is pretty much unkillable, and I mean his item build is pretty much just be a strong carry,
Radiant's
like
top
stronger
tower
than
is
anyone
under
in the
attack.
game, but it's still just an alchemist. His base armor is very low, and he is still killable. It'll just be difficult. But he's getting to a scary level.
Yeah, if they continue to give him the space, he finishes up the SMY and gets BKB and Assault Cuirass, both of which won't take long when you've got an Alchemist just flash farming like this. And he's at 8.4k net worth already, 2.5k in front of the Slark. Are they going to get the arrow? J4? Oh, he tries to play catch. So they're going to roar him down. Yapsaw with a Starfall, and J4 will die. This is actually one of the few games from Diggity where they haven't taken out a lot of early tier 1 towers. But they normally have something like a lone druid behind them that lets them take fight and then instantly, or they creep skip in some way or shape or form. Without the Necrobooks, it's still happening yet.
Dire's top
They'll
tower
get there,
is
and
under
again,
attack.
it all comes down to just this massive aura strat. Like, OD even isn't really a tower pusher, but you give him all this attack speed, and I mean, he's not that bad, especially because you have free damage from the Venge. Use a drum charge top as well. I like the itemization thus far. Every hero, with the exception of Beastmaster, by treads. I really like that.
Quick lasso. Yabsaw caught mid-leap, which means he's got no escape. All he can do is just arrow down one of the creeps of Big Num and accept his fate.
Spot out too, he'll be fine with that. And it's a lasso used, the blink reveal as well, and a haste rune from that. And in the meantime, look at Era, man. 10k net worth almost, 13 minutes in. Got an SNY finished.
Finished the SMY 1 minute ago. They're already got 1200 gold again. Oh, hello. Quite
Kizu just got out of position, yeah. Rubik just caught up with the lift. Now level 6 steals the boar. It's a really good spell for Rubik to steal a little help push a bit. And I don't like that Yapstor, before he TP'd out earlier, he placed a ward there, but that's gonna get countered every time. Like, it's a Slark. Oh wow, they have vision of me here. What could have possibly happened? You know what I mean? So that's just a waste of a ward. I also really like PR's vision here. They have 2 really nice lane wards, but this is not going to help them, as you can see, when Diggity just groups up behind this Alf, who is huge, and just starts hitting the tower.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do anything. And there's also Mirana. There's 1 dust and a sentry. That's the only detection right now.
They're coming down.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like they want to go. Chemical Rage gets stolen by the Rubik, so beefier, but 5 heroes from Diggity were there, ready for Power Rangers to fight them. Didn't end up happening. Goddamn goes back to his farming. This is going to be our Blink Dagger timing now. 14 minutes in, it will be. Got extra
like that
caching,
pick.
and it's going to go directly in for fights, if you can, with the Blink.
Just so good this game, because he can latch onto the Mirana specifically and just take her out pretty much by himself. And you can't really afford to go Shadowblade here, because you need more mobility. You need to be able to jump onto your target, not bank on them being bad and not having counter wards. But like if he runs into an OD and just got imprisoned, suddenly he's like not initiating anymore, and his team's like, oh shit, what do we do? So this is definitely the play, so that he can blink in, catch something, and then just have the Chen army, the bat, etc., just kind of run in behind him.
They're about to get ready to go on Qualifier. Problem is the Slark is too far away, so that's a blink lasso. Going on Qualifier, Cinderin swaps straight back out again. The sacrificial lamb right now. Only Imprisonment will buy time for the rest of Diggity to rotate over, and Yapso in the middle of the fight. They put down the Sentry Ward. There's no hiding inside the Moonlight Shadow with the Doom over on Qualifier, and goddamn, right in his tail. They're gonna kill off this OD. They're back up neath the T1 tower, but the Dark Pack from the Slark, it'll give the spill damage required. And now it is Diggity who are on the run. They've lost 3 heroes for no real advantage. The arrow, however, it hits the Slark. The concoction preparing as well. Big Num is just going to send goddamn back. Hero being picked up and thrown around. Concoction actually stolen by J4. Thrown on top of Era, but with the Slark already sent back to base, they don't have the damage to keep fighting here.
Again, all set up by Slark. Blinks in, lands the pounce, kills the Venge. Then turns, goes to the OD, he got doomed, he dies. Then it also lands a pounce on the Beastmaster after blinking in to secure that kill. So, really well done by goddamn. That fight is all just because the dig rotations were slow, and they don't want to take a fight like that. They want their Alchemist in the front line, and he wasn't really even there for that fight. They also want him to try and absorb the Doom. But again, OD gets caught by a Doom, and like then the hero becomes really worthless. So, I will say, if this game continues like this, like, PR will win. It doesn't matter how much farm. Even though Era has like 2,500 net worth on the Slark, you can consider those heroes even for their power level now compared to what it'll be later. Alchemist needs to be ahead for his hero to function as it needs to, and Slark is really, really scary once again for Diggity. Like, that will be the hero they need to worry about. He's just going to rush a Scotty, which I agree with.
The stance is slow, there's no way to escape it. We're gonna have to chase as far on Kuiper if we can get that so often. Kuiper actually went in for like a Rod of Atos kind of style. Either that or this is a casual Vit booster.
I think they're smoking towards Roche right now. They might see the Slark though, he has to be really careful here. I think he might pop this stuff.
Osby's not close enough for it. They're moving towards the mid, the arrow. Perfect from Yapsaw. Hitting J4 right in the noggin. Arrow's gonna ensure it. Follow-up concoction. Diggity, do you even go for Roshan? They're going for tier 2.
You can't go for Roche when they know it's coming, just because the Bat Rider potential. He has a Force Staff now as well, so a lot of this game, the Venge Bat matchup, so it's something really to keep an eye on, because if he gets the last on Force off, that hero's probably dead, or Syndred might just get blocked off, so it's really important to see if he can do that or not. Invis picked up on a Rise, he's going to look to make a move. Doom went drums. And also going the Max Inferno Blade build.
Look at the build
Max
from
picked
Hero.
up on the chin.
I wasn't expecting him to go something like Mjolnir. That's his next item he's going for now.
It's actually pretty good here. I like Mjolnir against multiple sources of high frame damage. So like Slark's Q, I believe applies 10 to 20 times. I don't remember exactly how many times. And then the Bat Rider Fireflies obviously every second, Flame Break every second. And then Doom's E is every second. So there's a lot of spells that can get Mjolnir procs, which incredibly high damage output if you get lucky with procs. And it also will do a lot of AoE to the Chen minions as well.
That Rod of Atos now done over on Kuiper.
I will say though, not to like criticize Era, but his item build to me doesn't really show a lot of forethought. It looks to me like he's just kind of deciding on items that are good, which to me says that this was more of just like a Diggity, oh hey, this hero is good here, than a strat, like it appears when Danish Bears do it. A smoke, by the way, coming out from PR towards the mid lane.
They got a little bit of a reveal off. Big Nom actually lost one of his creeps. Another arrow. Absol was able to take out that Hellbear, which was watching Roshan very closely, but guns PR, this is what they love to do. Smoke, move around, flank out the enemy. They do not have the Slark with them, however. Slark's revealing himself up on the top lane. And with that, Diggity want to slip themselves inside of Roshan. Now, this is very much being telegraphed to Power Rangers because they have an Observer Ward over on the hill, freshly placed. Into the Firefly for a rise. But Roshan's already done.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't last long. I didn't realize the Big Num is now in the process of stealing Fox.
It's actually a good steal, for this passive time at least. I will say, just the Diggity, it's interesting because they're 5k ahead in gold, most of which is on this Alchemist. They're actually behind 2k in experience, even after that Roche, so again, this goes back to like what I said at the start of the game, where I think Diggity is way more comfortable in these long games. Although I will say that PR's lineup gets really scary, and it's mostly just the Slark. And then the addition, you have Bat and Doom, which are really just hero deleters, specifically the Doom. And then Slark, whoever he jumps is going to die, and he finishes a Scotty, so he's in a really good position right now. 20-minute blink blink Scotty, the Midas as well.
We'll take that.
And
Do you have
this,
to keep on like 4-man, 5-man smoking for being able to actually get the better initiate? Goddamn, continue to farm up until it like the next major item before he fights. I'm looking at Eero, yeah, getting ready to go. 1.5, there's your jump, goddamn. Didn't get his dive packed off, so he'll take some considerable damage early on. The arrows are flying, expecting some kind of pounce away, but he'll commit the Shadow Walk. Need extra vision over on the side, and they're not going to get it. Goddamn, just pounces, and Eero finds him at the last moment. But Nova Basher, he has no stun. He could easily pop and stop him. So goes to Slark.
They just need to push lanes a little faster on PR. I want to see these Chen creeps split pushing bottom a lot more than they have been. Horizon's there now, Slark will take the mid, but this is the second tier 2 they're going to lose, and they weren't even getting tower pressure on either mid or bottom, and now they should be getting some. This is what they want, but they need to take out these tier 1s to gain a little more map control.
Did he come back for him?
Dire's top
No
tower
fortification
is
available. Okay, they're going after the mid tower. They at least know they can 100% stop goddamn, and they ward the illusion of the Doombringer, now realizing that that is not a real hero.
Yeah. He's definitely adjusted faster to Dota than most people would expect, but he still makes occasional errors like that. Just like, not, I don't know, I know what it's like to like just be started in Dota. You're kind of overwhelmed by all the shit you gotta pay attention to, that a lot of times like little fakes will catch you off guard. Bottom lane, yeah, they're just farming the woods. Okay, never mind. Invis rune top though. Gem also picked up on Cage. That's a really early gem. He also hasn't purchased his further Necro books yet, which seems to me to tell that he'll be buying a Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He would have had that level 2 Necro book a while ago. He would have actually had the level 3 Necro book. It was his gem purchase? No, it was Synderen's gem purchase.
Come on, come on man. You think Cage is buying a gem?
I remember, man, the Water Boys and Team Diggity.
Man. He's got it. Yeah. That's a support's role.
So you're saying you would never buy a gem? You'd always send to your teammates and say, yo, like, I'm not spending money on such a utility item for Rise.
I'm a team player, so I buy gems, but my team, you know, it's other teams' turn. That's all I'm saying. One point to quickly bring up, though, this is the other issue with Alk. He actually becomes super hot starved later on in the game. So his next item is replacing either his Midas or his TP. And at that point, how much stronger does this Alk really get? Like, obviously you can replace items, but at a point, you're going to be replacing part of your... Like, his item slots will increase by maybe 1k or 2k net worth. But my point is just that his massive acceleration out ahead of the game starts to slow significantly right about now. So even with the addition of Moon Shards and other hero items like that, the Slark will always be able to farm more than he is. And oh, he gets caught with the imprisonment. But here's the thing, I don't even think they can kill him.
No, they can't. And in fact, he just blinks away as he comes out of... Wait, did he actually blink away as he came out of the imprisonment?
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, I think he might have double tapped it by accident, I'm not sure. But you can't blink coming out of imprisonment.
Yeah, I know, because it should do damage. It's blink on cooldown.
But this is fine. If they uses his ult, they don't want to fight. He's just going to go right toward mid, which is the right move, and they're going to get the towers they need.
It was the end of the pound.
But this is exactly what I need, though, man. Like, they cannot kill Slark unless he makes an error.
Yep.
So he's the guy that matters.
They're going to force it.
They're going to push high guard a little, yeah.
Yep.
They can do this very easily without. And Bat just, what?
Rise went in before the rest of his team was ready. The Snip is room the Doombringer as well. If it's not for the gem currently over on Diggity, he could just walk in and Doom up Kuiper, but they don't want to do that, Because he's got Aegis the Immortal. It would be a complete waste of a Doom and allow Diggity to finish this, and because that gets picked off with no control, the melee ranks belongs to Diggity. The buyback now comes out from Rise, but the Moonlight Show triggered. Goddamn jumps forward. Synderen, the one to be caught out, but he makes a break for the tree line. He'll be dusted up, and Synderen will basically say, kill me if you wish, the rest of my team is left. And they're actually going up the top lane too. They're going to go after J4, but the stun. Eera's still got the blink forward, the pounce from J4. Eera's going to stun himself. Yabsaw does have the arrow available, but J4 into the tree line, can't TP out. There was still a support for a support trade. A Batrider died, bought back, and you lost your melee racks on bottom.
Yeah. To follow up my point about the whole Alk falling off thing, yeah, what that also means is that its peak is right about now. So it's really not the right time to just casually forget that they're pushing your bottom lane and allow him to hit a rack for 30 seconds, but that was like the right thing to do. I swear, him and bo5 share a lot more in common than nationality, because great guys, good players, they just do things that really make you, you know, just ask.
Absol. Goddamn's gonna try and pick him off. KZU might have to commit the wall to actually save his teammate, but goddamn, into the Shadow Dance, Yapsor doesn't have leap degrees. Helps Yapsor break free for a little bit. But they can't go for much more. I'm actually wondering too, like, if, like just how far Era goes with this, because there's no... I don't know if there's actually a great Aghanim upgrade on Diggity. Like, the VS one is actually quite nice. Synderon's actually prioritized that previously.
Dude, OD Ags, man, OD Ags.
Is OD Ags really that good? Because I always look at that thing, it's like, it stalls the fight up so much. But let's just imprison everybody. Oh wait, now we actually have to wait 2 damage.
No. He just itemizes for refresher and then gets an ag. And then you just ult him and you're like, guys, I got him. And then you just ult again. It's awesome. It's so awesome.
The level of sarcasm I'm feeling out of that comment is unbelievable.
No, you're right though. There were literally no legitimately good ags upgrades, with the exception of maybe Synderon. And even that is... Actually, no.
The Beastmaster's
Venge is actually pretty good. It also means Synderon could feed once and then still be alive so that he could feed again, which is just crazy.
But the second feed, the second feed costs nothing, man.
Exactly.
It's just a spirit. That's all it is.
Walmart special, man. Buy one, get one free. It's all that goodish. Also, the Slark has 4,700 gold. He's going to be going for an MKB, which I think... I'm not sure if I agree with it or not. I think that, he were DY or Envy, he'd probably be going for a Moonshard, but I could be wrong. Moonshard might not be the item. Maybe it's Butterfly, actually. That would force MKB out of the Alchemist, and OD is one of those heroes that can't really afford to buy it, but I'm just concerned for him. I feel like he just needs to itemize for damage, so that's why I would say Moonshard, but MKB is fine. It denies Butterfly and like Solar Crest from being effective, but none of those items are in the game yet, so... I guess there's a medallion around it, but I don't know, teach their own. MKB is fine.
You'll go with something that's least stable, if not flashy. Both for those gonna have that scythe up. I mean, he's still a while, I say a while off it, like you're only looking like 2k gold, so one good fight is gonna be pretty close to it. Azu's gonna, inching his way closer towards those level 3 necrobooks too.
I'm actually not a huge fan of the sheep here. I think they just need BKBs. If he gets a BKB on OD, they have the blink on KZU, they have the blink on Alf. They really just need to commit. Like, go for the Batter, the Doom, even the Shen. Ignore the Slark completely, kill off his supporting cast, and then just start auto-attacking him. Because even though Slark is very farmed, he can't man up on both cores. Or just the core plus like good support. He actually catches an arrow mid, but it's not going to matter. That was a 5-second or 2. We'll play by Yapsor, but nothing...
I think what probably matters more is PR looking at Roshan. They just obs and sentry for it. And that's the dominated creep, the super melee creep. Currently they're tanking for the IS side.
They don't need this ward though. Arise really had to get that ward, like as Batrider, but he was running back to base. And they're gonna run in.
They're really too slow.
This is a fight, man.
They're really too slow for this. They actually see, they see Cheshire Cat. They understand where that Doombringer is. He blinked himself forward and he looked for a target. Actually started the animation of the Doom, but never finished the job. The Wave of Terror hitting J4 and Big Nut. They are so low on armor. KZU, he's gonna get the raw off. Synderon swapping him out of that lasso, so he doesn't put him up on the hillside. Now Qualifier comes in, but ulti is available. Goddamn, the Hand of God's already been triggered, allowing him to pounce forward. Cheshire Cat still looking for that Doom target, and finally he's gonna get it. It's going to be Qualifier. Era wanting to make space. Qualifier is dead no matter what at this point, but how much damage can Era do? He's got Lightning Shield up. He needs more damage. The Doom's got one, and now Cheshire Cat back into the fight, but Slark is down. Beastmaster will bring him down. The Necrobooks are right behind him. They're starting to send heroes back thanks to the Chen. 2 heroes lost for PR and 2 for Diggity, and Roshan's still up.
That fight only starts poorly for Diggity because they did the same exact error where Alchemist just wasn't at the fight right away. And nothing can met up on this Alchemist right now, man. He also itemizes for a Scotty and just drops the TP spot to get boss as well, which I think is the right move. And it's kind of also the issue with this MKB pickup is that if you're not using it for the anti-evasion, it's just not the highest damage output for Slark. Like, there's a reason that they always get moon shards, because you just need the attack speed, you steal more agility, and you just tons and tons of damage. But it's a decent fight by PR, but I don't know, man. Like that'd be pretty scary if I were a PR fan. And if you look at net worths, I mean, it's not like it's just this Alchemist that's ahead of the game.
You should look at the experience
right
then.
now.
Maybe the experience will actually tell the story you're trying to say, as opposed to like the overly inflated net worth.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of framed it like this might be Alk against the world, but in reality, it's just more Slark against the world, it seems. I mean, Arise forced to use that early buyback. He's got to go for a BKB here. Doom, not really accelerating. Ags, 600 gold away on the Chen, which will certainly be nice, but just, I don't know. Diggity just does so much damage. Like, once again, you can't underestimate how much aura they have. Like, max Beastmaster aura, the Necrobook move speed, Marana move and attack speed, venge damage, like, they even have drums. They're just missing a Vlad's on somebody, but I think that'll be Kazoo's next item. Like, they have crazy amounts of team fight aura.
They've actually got the Vlad's already over on Yapsol.
Oh, they
Yapsol's
do?
actually already got the Vlad's.
Yeah, and Greaves aura too. So they literally have about every aura you could want, with the exception of a pipe, which is kind of the same. So they all just do so much damn damage.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, you keep on saying it's Slark versus the world, but right now that entire world just keeps coming down, barreling down one lane. Like what happened on bottom lane when Arise got caught out. Like it only took one hero to be lost from PR. So when you think about it, like one bad engagement from PR means Diggity takes another round. They try and force the issue together. And it looks like they're coming in again on bottom. Okay, I'm interested to see why they're grouping up here as opposed to like 5-manning through top.
Play is to Doom the OD, have Slark kill the Venge as the Alchemist is getting lassoed, and then they just kill the Alch twice.
Doom of the OD is difficult. A Lincoln Spear is flying on the courier now. bo5 is going to have that extra defense. So it wasn't the side.
Oh, there you go, Slark bottom. I think that's way better here. He just needs to stay alive. He doesn't need to hex or CC anything.
Is it really worth this movement though? Like I can understand like if Diggity are able to find one hero pick off and the creep wave pushes in through bottom, they can just switch to another lane and bring it down. Same time, like they've already shown they're very, very formidable when they're forcing in a lane. And PR, you're really going to like contest a fight for a range Rax? Because the only thing really under threat of PR is on that bottom lane.
I think they're just trying not to throw.
Pistol build from Era will be his next major item. So we got Skadi, S and Y. Yolnya will have a Pistol Blade as his final item until he wants to drop the S and Y or buy a Moonshot. At which point it's just Aghanim's upgrades for everybody else.
Yep. But really not sure how Diggity, like, they've just had such good map control, I guess, but like the Marana and the Beastmaster are ahead of everybody but the Slark right now. And again, this is sort of the issue with picking the Bat and the Doom together, where they're both mostly just hero deletion. It's one thing if the Doom is a 4, but in this game he was a 3. So 2 of your cores are solely single target without much damage output, and then you have a Chen Rubik. So it's just, it really is Slark.
There they go. They're going on Cheshire Cat. They want to delete this Doom, and they delete a Rise as well. Hero went for the secondary target. The last star falls from Yapsol. Hit perfectly onto that wonderful Bat Rider, and the arrow as well hits the mark. Goddamn runs in, but now it really is Slark versus the world. 5 heroes surrounding the goddamn sandwich, and he'll go down to the Vengeful Spirit. There's got to be at least one lane of Rax. It may be more, because there's no buyback over on Bat Rider, only on Doom and Slark. And in fact, the Chen just got picked as well by the OD. Oh my, this could be a very fast end to game number 1, but we've seen this coming for a while now.
Draft,
middle
man.
barracks.
And then, like, the early game's a dream for Diggity. They're winning their lanes and free-farming an Alchemist who's rushing Midas with max Regal Speed. I mean, if you lose a game from that position, you made mistakes. Like, they just had a flawless laning stage. Barana doubling the levels of the Shen and beating him to level 6. Like, how do you win a game against that?
Deshikat's going to jump in, he'll doom over on the Alchemist. They try and swap him out, but Alch just hangs through it all. He goddamn goes invis and he kills off Cinder, and so I suppose in some way a moral victory has been won for PR. Maybe even more if they can kill off Koi for the wall, try and buy space. J4 kept the control up with thanks to telekinesis, and that range rack, Heidu's trying to finish off. He's got Necro booked up in 10 seconds time, doesn't even require it. Megas are on the field, and Era is also now returned to the engagement. So that is GG. Call comes out from Power Rangers, no Diggity will take game number 1, inch their way closer to qualifying for the LAN final in Moscow in May. Not far away.
I think that's just a really good outdraft from Diggity. And just, I think PR could potentially win that game, but it was just so much easier for Diggity, and it was more their style. That PR lineup to me is, like, again, we talked about this. We've now seen Arise win 2 games on Invoker and lose 1 on Puck and then another on Bat.